So we have yet another Striderbound progress video, yet another completely different project file. We're in a different game engine now. Um, this is Unity. This looks a little bit different. We're still 2D. I'll hop into the game. I have the volume turned down, so hopefully I can talk over it. This is the game now. Switched from 3D, obviously, 2D, and from MS Paint sort of style to pixel art. Imps that we can punch around, crisps that we can pick up. Right now there's just the one level that we're in currently. So features are still less than the original alpha. The next map is going to be the skyscraper, and then after that it's the factory from the original 3D Striderbound. But also have like those moving platforms weren't in any of the previous projects. With this flying enemy that was, but it was just a normal enemy. Of course, going from 3D to 2D, we had like sort of an action platformer before. It's now very much just a regular platformer. Sort of cheats that at the flash step a little bit. Flash step is a lot of fun in this project. It's working a lot better in 2D. With Unity, scripting things a little bit more directly. I don't know, it's just really working, in my opinion. Of course, there's a lot of bugs, so in a lot of ways it's not working. But it just feels better to play. And to that end, I actually have a demo up on my itch.io page. Here we go. I have a whole bunch of tabs open. Don't mind those. Yeah, here's the demo. Because I made it in Unity, it runs in the browser now. Unity Web Journal. So this is on the page now. You can play it, you can try it out. Go full screen. The UI doesn't scale correctly yet. But yeah. I'm interested to see what people have to say about it. There's a lot of bugs that I know about already, but if you want to let me know, I'm down for that. I just want to know what people think about it. Level design is really something I'm kind of struggling with. I guess it's something I'm thinking about. Let me in Unity I have this. It's some interesting culling going on there. Well, there's a tile map in Unity now, which is cool. So I have where's it? This thing. This is my tile sheet. It's based on something I found on Google. Here, I'll pull that up too. So yeah, I looked on Google for industrial tile set, and I found this guy who was looking for help because they thought that it wasn't good enough. And I was like, this looks great. Let me ape off of this completely. So of course I made the actual tiles that I used myself, but they look a little bit similar, huh? So that was a big help for me in setting up my level, and I just worked off of that baseline and tried to make stuff that looked like the land of heat and clockwork. And I'm liking it so far, but just putting levels together, it's been a little bit challenging for me. I like this area, but again, it's just one area. It takes a few minutes to complete. But that's been a fun challenge. That's not a frustrating challenge. Frustrating challenge is getting this freaking scripts to work correctly. So one bug that I can demonstrate that I'm sure you will encounter, because it's very common and it's very janky, is that when you hit an enemy while you're running into them, Dave gets hit the wrong direction and he slides into me. It's bizarre and I don't know why it happens. So if we look at the damage is in the player movement scripts, which doesn't make sense, but that's where it is. So you have, or take damage is in the player movement script. Actually, part of this is in the enemy script, so we're kind of all over the place here. Empty update function. This isn't as bad as it looks, but it is hard. So we have on enter collision. So when we collide with something, this thing, this map that I took off the internet tries to find out which direction the collision was in. And of course, if it was greater than 0, then hopefully that was on the right. So left equals false is how we say right. And then that gets passed to the player if they did in fact collide with the player. And then on the player movement scripts, they should know what to do with that. So if left, push to the left. Clearly that isn't working when, for some reason, when you run into the enemy. It doesn't do it right. So that's the biggest bug that I know about. It's not working at all. Obviously, die just has a print statement in here. I've commented out this function, which doesn't exist. So that's probably why I commented it out. Otherwise, that'd give you an error. So when you die, nothing happens. I guess that's a bug or a missing feature. But yeah, I don't have a lot to say about this actually yet, I guess. Um, it's like the same project but different. Other than I'm just really happy with it. 3D versions look fancy, like the second one. I had um, the pre-built animation blueprint in there with the Joker model. It looked pretty nice, but honestly, this aesthetic is just working for me a little better. It's much easier for one thing, but I don't know. I think it's working. We didn't see stuff that looked quite like this in the Land of Heat and Clockwork. I'll here I pull up some aesthetic. So some of the stuff that we're thinking about aesthetically, this one's obvious from Dave Accelerate. It's the Beat Mesa, and this is going to be a dungeon one day. The thing that holds the needles. Of course, you have Galid Folk. Another look inside that sort of skeletal skyscraper thing, which this was a big influence in the previous projects. And thankfully, I don't really have to figure this out anymore. 2D's perspective kind of alleviates that a little bit. Some looks at Dave and what he was working with, and then a bunch of text. The Google search too, the images. This has been a big inspiration. There's some really beautiful stuff in here, actually. People are making some rocking art of the Land of Heat and Clockwork, and I am all about it. So, I like the sort of volumetrics in this one. Lohack is interesting from a lighting perspective. You can see I've got some Unity's 2D lighting in here. Not much, but there's a big one in the bottom. Let's see if I can find this. I outliner is kind of a disaster. I, these grists should probably go in a folder. Parametric light. So I've got this big light underneath the whole level that kind of has some fall off on it. And then there's a global light that's just a like sort of a red color to try to emulate the light from the lava sort of diffusing through an atmosphere. In the 3D project, we had like one bright light in the sky, like as if from Skya, and then a lot of light coming from the bottom of the scene. And in 3D, you had a lot of like these harsh shadows coming through the beams and stuff, and it was very evocative. Um, Not necessarily good for the game. You want to be able to see what you're looking at, but I don't know. It was very atmospheric, and I'm trying to capture some of that in 2D. So I don't think Unity 2D has shadows, but that would be cool. It's definitely worth looking into. I like these gears. The platform gears have a script. They're supposed to play the sounds, this clockwork sound, and some of them go faster than others. They're supposed to play the sound faster, but right now all of the sounds happen at once, which is a little bit redundant, and you don't get the same effect that I already had in the 3D projects. So I would consider that a bug. But yeah, I'm super rambling. If anybody is interested in learning more about working in Unity and like the game design process and channel for this one, I've been able to use. We're doing pixel art, so I've been able to use a lot of paint. I like MS Paint. Um, and then some stuff in GIMP. These were made in Paint, and then just some noise added to them in GIMP to sort of like to sort of sell some texture. But yeah, try it out. It's on my itch.io and plays in the browser, so you don't need to install anything. And let me know what you think, and if there's anything specific you want to hear more about.